Man. There we go. Now I want to get straight into it, man, because it's your first time on the platform, right? And the whole city know you, but you grew up in Watts, right?
Roger that. Yep.
You
Born and
grew
raised, Watts baby.
Watts, baby. What's up with it? What part of Watts you grew up in?
I grew up in an area called Fudge Town. It's the houses that's in between the Jordan Down projects and the Imperial Court projects. The residents right there, the houses, the streets and shit. They call them back streets, but it's kind of like the front streets because you got to pass by us to get, to whatever projects you're going to or whatever. But we all down the line of Wilmington, in between Wilmington and Alameda, by the 105 freeway, in between Century and, I'll say in between Firestone and the 105 freeway, the
Mm,
Firestone district, the Watts babies.
right. Okay. So let me ask you, man. Let me say before. Let's just say before the for the money, the FTM, before you was young Bronco, man. Before when you was a kid, what was it like growing up in Watts for you before all of the drama and before everything, bro?
You know, growing up as a kid in Watts was good. I mean, being a kid, you're a kid. So you growing up with the different kids that's either in your same age bracket, of
Mm-hmm.
course, and their younger brothers and your younger brothers and sisters are growing up. We all growing up together, and everybody has their own graduating dates in order to, excel to the next level. If it's graduating from sixth grade and going on to seventh and eighth and ninth grade, and then graduating from ninth grade, you got your different stages of growth and development that each individual goes through, as being part of wherever you at, whatever ghetto you in. You got the kids that's in your brother and sister age bracket that's younger than you. You also know the people that's in the age bracket above you. It's how you get surrogate big sisters and big brothers and big homies and
Mm.
homegirls and shit like that. It's like in your neighborhood, you're familiar with the neighbor that live next door to you, to the left and to the right, across the street. All of the families are familiar with each other. And if you come from a family that got a strong lineage in that area, then they familiar with your grandpops and your grandma. They familiar with your nana and your pawpaw and all your aunts and uncles went to
Facts.
school with their aunts and uncles. Your moms went to school with their moms and they pops and shit like that. So everybody familiar with everybody. Only the people that move into the area that didn't grow up there or start off there um, kind of have a rough time. Whatever you finna get or go through as far as your rites of passage, the shit that's on your resume that you did,
Yep.
that's what it is. Whether you moved in there or grow up there, you're gonna have to fade. You're gonna have to do your fighting and stand in your ground and squabble up. And if you take part in the gunplay, if you get shot at enough times, you're gonna pick up a blammer and shoot at some shit too.
You probably
If
gonna
you don't
shoot
never get
back.
shot at, then you ain't gonna have that type of shit to have to deal with. But if you're dealing with situations where motherfuckers shooting at you and your friends and shit like that, couple of y'all get knocked down, you got obituaries from when you was like 13, 14. That's when your stacks start. It don't stack when you grown. And
Hmm.
where we come from, your obituary stacks start when you a kid.
That's a
You lose
fact.
junior high school, ninth grade, and shit like that. And it's like that. So when they be feeling like, when the world be feeling like people who take part in that type of culture are heartless,
Yep.
it's not that. It's the same as growing up in Iraq or Iran. When that's the norm, when you see kids with three fingers because they practice making pipe bombs and shit like that, well, that's a normal thing where they come from. Where
Normal
we come
thing.
from, this is a normal thing. So it's not a oh my God moment or aha moment. This is a y'all duck. You know the drill. Duck when you start hearing the bullets and shit, and hope it ain't one of your people, because this is what go on in the ghetto while we growing up in it.
You ain't never lied about that. Let me
So
ask
we
you this:
gotta
when you
adapt to our surroundings, or either succumb to the surroundings, adapt to the surroundings, or get out of it. If you don't get knocked down, it's just that. That's the picture that we be painting in our hieroglyphics. It's called rhymes and music. To me, it's called our hieroglyphics. We paint our culture in the rhymes and shit. That's the story that's told, because the rhymes live past the motherfucker that's telling it.
that's correct. This is true. Now let me ask you this, man, because you grew up in a different era than me. So like when you was growing up, bro, was it always the because at one point, all the OGs will always tell you, we used to fight, we used to do this, we used to do that. Did you grow up in that time where it was fighting before the gunplay, or was it just straight shooting all the time?
No, I grew up in the fighting area. We in the fighting era where see, a lot of my big homies and shit like that, they didn't grow up Crip and they was already grown. Fudgetown was already established with their brown rags already in that area that I grew up in. It was all they already had a name for themselves already amongst the other areas and shit like that. But they wasn't Crippin' because Crippin' hadn't came the atmosphere of Crippin' and Bloodin' hadn't developed and it hadn't got to them when it started Crippin' and Bloodin'. We was growing up. I was growing up during the era of Crippin' and Bloodin'. So all of my big homies, the G's before my generation,
Yeah.
and they tattoos, they got FTM, the 3 letters.
For the
But
money.
everybody in my generation on down got 4 letters. That's FTMC. Because we was the last hood to choose a side. We've always been brown rags, and we never abandoned the brown rag, but we on the dominant Crip side of the tracks. And in that time of game when Gangbanger was at its thriving heights, the full court press was on. So whenever me and my niggas would hit the county jail and shit like that, niggas like, where y'all from? Fudge Town Mafia. We
Right,
bang
right.
and do the whole shit, but we browned up niggas like y'all blood the Crips, nigga. Then we look at each other. We young niggas though. We young mafias though. So we figuring it out how to address that issue when it's time to address that issue. And whenever motherfuckers, because I ain't no stay in the hood ass nigga. I'm all over the place. I'm in this nigga hood over there. I got partners from different hoods where if you don't get out in the world, you ain't gonna have no friends nowhere. I got partners from other hoods.
It's a
So a
fact.
nigga see me and see me. For me to be all browned up with my brown hat on and it's the same as a blood to have his all red on, or a Crip that wear a bright ass blue like teal blue or something.
Right.
A pop in the area we come from, the brown means something. This shit'll get your head knocked off if you in the right area in the wrong time with this shit on. This
That's
means something where I come from, like a
that,
black rag do or a gray rag do in Long Beach.
that's a fact. Now let me ask you, man, because you like for you kind of it was a little different for you, man. You grew up in the hood, right? But what school did you attend to? Like what school, like elementary and junior high, did you attend?
Well, I say it like this. I was brought home from the hospital to the address that I grew up in the hood. I didn't
Uh-huh.
move to the hood and discover that it was. I was always there. I grew up in my mama hood. That's my motherhood. My mother and her brothers and sisters, and my uncle was an OG Fudge Town. So I went to Catholic school, the Catholic school that's in my hood though.
Right. Uh-huh.
So I went to a Catholic school where we had nuns stationed there from the Vatican and the Archdiocese and shit like that. So we had like Sister Mary, Sister Rocio and shit, the ones that'll grab your ear and pull you to the corner when
Yeah.
you behaving and shit like
when you
that.
when you fucking up. Yeah.
You fucking up in class, Sister Mary gonna come snatch a nigga up with by the ear and say, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Bring your ass here, goddamn it.
Right,
With that
right.
Spanish accent and her little short ass, but she didn't mistreat anybody or nothing like that. I can't say that I had a ill experience, growing up as far as that part of growing up and shit like that. Catholic school was cool. It got me advanced and shit like that. So I was like the only black kid in my one of 2 black kids or one of 3 black kids in my class, aquí Moreno. So I've been around a lot of different Spanish speaking dialects and shit, from Panamanian Spanish to Dominican Spanish to Spanish from Honduras and all over because it was kids in my classroom that was from all over the place. And watch where I grew in Fudge Town, the area that I grew up in, is a place where you got people from different cultures who have grown up there for a couple of. You'll see a black man with a Mexican wife that's from Mexico, and they family and everything been established in Watts for years. So they like the grandparents now, and they kids is mixed and shit, and they living that kind of life too. It ain't
Right.
just one family; it's 3 or 4 on every block and shit like that. Throughout the years before I was born and brought up. So I witnessed this kind of shit. So it's not unusual in that area for a black kid to have a Mexican girlfriend and them have kids and that be okay, not looked at as a, what the fuck are y'all doing? That's regular normal behavior for this area right here. This is where we do this at.
Right, understood. So it was a lot of, you would say, intermingling. Everybody was, the blacks and the browns was getting along. Everybody was intermingling at that time in that area right there.
Indeed, this is how you got certain blacks that's from a Mexican gang, and how you got certain Mexicans that's from Crip gang or a blood gang, because you got the mingling of the meshes, the joining of the meshes based on friendship, growing up, and camaraderie and everything. Next door neighbor, Lalo, next door neighbor, Carlos this way. You got Al and them over there, and they know you across the street from them too. What the fuck? Y'all go to school together, y'all go to the same store together, y'all flipping a cannonball in the same public pool, all that kind of shit. The same bullets that's flying over there by you, flying over there by him too, because he
Flying
right
by
there too.
him. Hey, what now? Do you now being an adult, right? Do you see? Was there a was there a difference that you can tell from going to Catholic school versus everybody that was around you that didn't go to the same type of that didn't get the same type of schooling you got? Was it a difference?
Definitely, it was definitely a difference. It wasn't so much more a stricter kind of structure, but it was more structured in regards to focusing on all of the different aspects. And it was less clowning in class because the nuns wasn't going for your bullshit. In public school, you got certain public school teachers that actually take their job seriously, and they can reach the students, and they know that there's a way to reach each student on a learning platform where I can actually introduce you to things that I want you to learn and you can grasp it. And then there's other ones, I gotta wash my hands of it because you either the class clown or you this or that. Not really knowing that these different kids who might be considered the trash in the class might be suffering from different things that they going through in their environment where they growing up. You might have the girl in class that's fucking up, but she might be dealing with the touchy-feely uncle at home. Okay,
Yep.
we gonna magnify all of the what ifs and shit because these are tangible realities for people in the ghetto. You
Facts.
might live with grandmoms and shit, and your moms, might be strung out on dope, or pops might be in prison, or your pops might be dead. Moms, vice whatever the situation is, and grandmoms don't have the finances to get you all the finest things for you to be looking how you want to look amongst your peers. So you look a little less than, so your self-esteem ain't there on your behalf, little homie girl, or little homie dude who don't never had the J's, and every other kid be clowning you like, what are those? And that kid has a life too. Everybody, the cool kid don't always end up with the shits at the end of the story. Sometimes the nerd get all the shit.
That's a fact too.
Feel
Yeah.
me?
Yep.
Like, a cool nigga that was doing all the bullshit don't end up with a positive dope ass life at the end. Sometimes his life is over and he don't get to get no gray whiskers, no platinum whiskers in his face. He was fucking up when he was a kid.
He was. Hey, you got a point there, man. You know what's so? Because I interviewed my bro Kato, man. Shout out to Kato, Kato
Shout out
Fournier,
to
man.
Kato.
Yeah,
Big
look,
shouts out to Kato.
look, man. I interviewed him too, and I asked him. I'm like, what was it like? Okay, because you was in the smack dead in the middle of the hood, right?
Yeah, right
It,
there.
it's crazy to see how. Now you grew up in a two-parent household.
I grew up in a two-parent household. My parents are still married right now. None of them have. My pops ain't never been in prison. My moms and pops ain't never been on dope. Neither one of them. None like no shit. Like, I'm the only fuck up in the house, and I'm the oldest of three kids. My sister is in the middle, and my brother is, young. But we all grew up in Watts, so we all got them thorny edges because you grow up in the ghetto and you develop a certain kind of tough skin, a certain kind of, you know,
I look
repellent for bullshit. A
facts.
way to deal with that and shit, and not get ate up. You can be polite, and I come from it's dignity and respect, and against some of the flyest motherfuckers with the most intellect that I've ever come across in the ghetto. Don't
Mm,
fuck with the rest of the world or none of that shit. They keep their smarts amongst their people and share it like that.
facts. What?
Ain't no,
Oh,
I know some smart Crips. I know some smart, intelligent Bloods, Parus, some Brims. I know some smart Crips. Every
nigga,
Crip
you
I know
one
ain't no
of them.
dumbass nigga. Every
Nigga,
Crip that I know ain't no dumbass nigga.
nigga, you one of the smart Chris. What are you talking about? You speaking about yourself, nigga. What you saying?
Speak
But
about the group that I come from that groomed me. I come
yeah.
from a group of motherfuckers. It's certain motherfuckers in my big homies, certain my big homies that was doing certain shit, in
Mm-hmm.
life. They did now and shit, but they ain't never been to prison that did that. Some doing kingpin shit and just grooming motherfuckers to be the best them that they can be, not the best asshole or the best bank robber or the best shooter or the just do what you gotta do to survive and make sure that you take care of the people that you have to take care of and don't endanger nobody. You can live within the laws of the land and not have to fuck up. Our job is to make a way when it ain't no way.
Right. Now let me ask you, bro. What? Because would you say this? Because you was a you said you was the only fuck up in your family. So would you say the street influence? Because I'm trying to figure out what made you just really join the gang, or was it per se you was just hanging with your homeboys and that's just what it was, or was it that
Well,
you
your
just
homeboys, a lot of times this is what your homeboys is the kids that you grew up with. Y'all just ain't
yes
kids no more,
facts
right? So
right?
these your home. The definition of homeboy is motherfuckers right there close to home. The motherfuckers that grew up in your house and you grew up in their house. We spend the night back and forth, and I know the number in that house. The house number ain't never changed since we was in elementary school, so I can run it off verbatim right now and ring that motherfucker in the house where his mom and daddy live at, and he don't stay there no more because I know
Mm-hmm.
him like that. He know me like that. So with that being said, these is the kids that you defend. They defend you. If I'm not there and some motherfucker speaking foul on me, if it's one of my guys that love me, fuck with me like that, he gonna be like, oh, the fuck up. You're not gonna say no shit like that in my nigga right not here. I need that. I hear about the fate. He ain't gonna call me on the phone and say, hey, cuz, this nigga over here fat lipping and murder mouthing you right now. Can you come around the corner and address the issue? That ain't really your partner. If a nigga, I fuck with you every day since elementary school, since Johnny struck a match and the match went out. Got my first piece of pussy with you, smoked my first joint with you and shit like that. Wrote on the walls with you and shit. Dive in the diving board with you. Play on the same Pop Warner team with you. We already been teammates growing up before we had hood involved. We been hood.
Yeah.
Only the niggas that move to your hood get courted on. The niggas that's day one brought on from the hospital ain't no courting me on, nigga. I am hood, nigga. This me. Fuck you talking about? That's the difference in the hood. Nigga ain't courting me on. Fuck you talking about? It's Fudge Town, nigga. I grew up here, born and raised, day one.
Right.
My whole life, nigga. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, I understand that. So you
understand what I'm trying to say? Like, so it was like this. The defense that I have right there comes from being picked with from the outside kids that ain't from Fudge Town that'll tell you where you from when they trying to press you.
Because they seen you coming from this side of town. They seen you walking from over here. They seen you over out here with understood. So
Street kid. Oh, that's where y'all stay at. 105th and Carocious, 107th and Carocious, 105th and Lou Dillon. These niggas Fudge Town. We looking like nigga done told you he on bang 57 times because mama already done pressed that in the nigga forehead before he leave out you ain't in no goddamn gang. No, I'm not, but I am from over here though. Whatever his area is over here, mom.
This is where I grew up at, mama. You can't.
This is where I'm growing up.
Yeah, okay.
That the bills come to us on this street. Okay, we can't deny the GPS location. So if these kids are gonna pick with me in the locker room, at the swimming pool, when we changing out our clothes, getting in our swimming trunks and shit, what I'm supposed to do? Let them pick with me?
Hell no.
Or do I fucking defend myself?
And always if they defend yourself.
Buddy, right, and if they picking with Bebe, and Bebe, he not really sure what he gonna do, but they look at me and I look at him and fuck that, we gonna back to back it. And if they black my eye, they blacking yours, but they ain't gonna fuck us up. We gonna fuck some up too. That's where that come from, nigga. That's that nigga Lamont. That's that nigga, the curly head with the thick eye. Watch that nigga, the one that speaks Spanish, cuz that watch him, cuz. And then what niggas be like, oh shit, it ain't come, cuz. Fudge Town nigga. I ain't never told you I was from Fudge Town. You told me I was from Fudge Town when you seen me and tried to press me. When we had that little head up and I nodded your ass up, you ain't want to fight me no more. Now you got to pick somebody else from where I come from that's in my pack of friends to pick because you don't want to fight me no more. And no, I didn't whoop every nigga ass, but every nigga that had a chance to get in don't want to get in no more. I wasn't picking with you. You was picking with me.
Right, and you tried to tell me I was a gangbanger. I told you 100 times I wasn't before I beat your ass.
But if this is what banging is, then I'm all in, my nigga, because you ain't finna punk me. My mama a little bitty lady. She'll beat my ass if I come on, run to the house and beat on the door. Mama, let me in. These niggas chasing me. She gonna be like, yo ass gonna stay out there and address that issue before you come in here.
You better handle it. You better
take care of
you. Yeah.
Some niggas run you up in this yard, you don't live here no more, nigga.
And that's just that.
And she grew up in Fudge Town. Her brothers is Fudge Town.
Yeah.
They was Fudge Towns before I was a Fudge Town.
Understood.
She know. She understand the blocks and the terrain where she grew up at. She came here from Mississippi, and then the rest of her brothers and sisters was born here. So my uncles didn't grow up banging, but they grew up Fudge Town because this area that I grew up in was already called Fudge Town by them.
By them. So you because okay, with all of that being said, how the hell did you graduate? You graduated high school at 15, right?
16.
16. How that happened?
I went to Catholic school, and when I got out of Catholic school and I came to public school, I was more advanced than the kids in my class, so they bumped the nigga.
Okay, so you left from Catholic school. What public school did you go to? What?
I graduated from Catholic. I graduated out of Catholic school in the 8th grade. And then I went to Curtis Junior High School in Carson and Delamo and 190 East Coast Hood with my cousins and shit out there. And I went to school there for a year, the 9th grade, and then I graduated from there, and I went to high school in the Valley. I didn't go to school in the hood. I didn't go to Centennial or Locke or Jordan. My mom's was on her send me to the best place that she could send me to.
As she should. So
I went out to the valley, and so I was one of the homies in the hood who had partners from other places because we meeting up at the same place, these learning centers and shit like that. I'm in the gifted classes and shit like that. I'm in the advanced art classes and shit like that. I'm in the drafting classes and the architectural classes. I'm in the sculpting classes, and it's shit that they introducing me to at these schools that they ain't got these motherfucking arithmetics and these things to fuck with and doodle with to see if you can. They ain't got that in these schools where I grow up at. So mom's in her head, she was like, this little motherfucker got him. Let me send him. So she sent me to these places, and I just engaged in those different things that was available. The kids in the valley break dancing and shit like that. As soon as I touched soon as I touched the linoleum, it was a wrap after that because I was already flipping off the pissy mattresses out the bandos in the hood. So my flip flop back and my pikes and my whip game and my
canes. The bar already.
I was already fit for the job and shit. So when it came time to do that, let's go.
Hey, so let's get to it then, right? So okay, because you the second OG, bro. Outside of, I know you and Kato is y'all real hip hop outside of this cripping or whatever the hell y'all do, right? So
right.
When the hell I want to start from the jump with you because I don't think people know. I don't know if the world's seen your artwork yet, right? When the hell did you start doing that though?
It's funny you say that.
You can draw your ass off.
Thank you, bro. It's funny you say that because I kind of just kept all them things that I do separate. So whoever know I draw, you don't know I rhyme and that I, and none of that other shit. You just know that I draw.
Okay.
The motherfuckers that know I rap don't know I draw. You just know that I rap. You don't know nothing about that I draw and all this other shit. I never mixed the, the shits.
Right.
So when one motherfucker that's a fan of my music find out this nigga Bronc drew, he designed, what the fuck? What the fuck else do this nigga do? And then that's where the investigate, because I never introduced myself out in the world as I'm Broncoe from Nationwide Red Rod. I always just been Bronc from Fudge. And if I'm meeting a chick, a female or something like that, you can find me on such and such and try to make her interest be more in me, make bump my value up to make her for sure fuck with me. You'll discover who I am later if we fuck with each other that, in that, in that amount of time. You'll find out. If not, I'm not gonna lead my situation with my whatever my little stardom or my fame is. I never did that type of shit. So I always presented myself as the motherfucker that my nana and my mama didn't raise, the nigga that grew up in Fudge. And I'm regular. I do what I do. Keep a job and keep a hustle and keep a sack. I'm regular nigga from the hood. I ain't special at all. I just do these things and the homies know I do them.
Was it a reason you kept it separate? Because it's funny to me that you was everything that you like, all your talents, bro, is hip hop. From the art to the rapping to the we're gonna get into the breaking and everything, right? What was the point of keeping it separate? Like, what? I don't get it. What was it calculated or was it not cool to be doing that when you was cripping?
I wasn't calculating it at all. I can reflect back on it and see, because I've been asked this question before, and when I look back on it, I'm like, it's because I never mixed the crowds before. I never mixed the crowds. When I was breakdancing, I wasn't rapping. When I felt like I was too old to do Thomas Flares and windmills and head spins in 1990s and all of that, when I was too old to do all of that, in my opinion, the evolution of the linoleum pushed me towards the mic.
So you went and you would say you transitioned in like stages. So you wasn't okay, understood. I got you. So yeah, and then at the end of it all,
I wasn't ever even interested in being an MC or being a rapper or writing a rhyme down or playing with it or nothing. I liked poetry and shit. I never took it serious, but I always had the passion. I would play around with it. You know how motherfuckers to play around with it, your brother in the car or something, freestyle when you fumble the words and fall off, you laugh it off and don't never do it no more. I played with it like that, but I never took it serious, but I always had the passion. It was there. I knew that it was part of what I knew it was part of whatever it was that was going on with me while I was discovering who I was.
Right, exactly. You
because without this music, that these rappers and shit.
Headphones, man. You know,
Without
you know what's
without
so
this music,
there
we
we
don't
go.
have nothing to dance to.
Right, that's a fact. You know what's so crazy about that though, Bronc? Cause nigga, oh, we ain't even gonna say where, but when you pull up that day to Granny House with with your artwork in that folder, and you had
Yeah.
them M&S logos in there. Shout out to the whole gang.
Shout out to the gang.
I
Money never
seen
sleep.
on me. I seen yo. I'm looking at your shit like this nigga could. This nigga could draw the same way he could rap. He might be able to draw, but I don't know what's what.
I think I draw better than I rap. I think because
It's
I've been probably because I've been doing it longer. I've been drawing ever since crayons and color pencils with moms and staying in the lines and going the same way. And so I always took offense to motherfuckers tracing. So I would put a blank page next to whatever it is that they thought that I was gonna trace and give you my best version of my mind of that. And that's where the skill came in. I just kept practicing. I never got bored with it or shitted on what I'm drawing. I don't like it, so I ain't gonna show y'all that. I ain't gonna tear it up, but I'm gonna put it under these other stacks and I'm gonna try it again. So maybe I'll show you number 6 or number 7. And that was the develop. I just wanted to be an artist and make cartoons and draw characters and shit. I never had no dreams about being no rapper or no Crip or no Fudge Town or having a platinum record or 3 or 4 or none of that type of shit or having videos and people in Sri Lanka and the Netherlands and Japan and Canada inboxing me and shit like that, sending me shit to autograph and send it back to them and invite me to come to their country and tell me how much they love me and never met me in person and know me through my
mm-hmm.
music. That says a lot. That's very humbling in spite of being humbled already. So it's kind of like, thanks, y'all. I appreciate that. And I apologize for my absence because the embarrassment of the shitty deals that we got doing those banging on waxes and rip riders and different shit like that. The embarrassment of that kind of punked my ass, y'all. Let me tell y'all that. Face to face, 100 and own the whole shit. And that's explains partially of my absence. But the music that I'm bringing to y'all right now fills in the void. I give y'all all the whole little spicy little shit. From the missing homies and shit like that, dearly departed, to the whole little get down wild month. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I've grown since the last time y'all seen
Allow
me.
me to reintroduce myself. The name is Bronco. You heard him?
The
Yeah,
bronchologist, man. I'm
broncologist.
a whole different beast.
Okay, so let me backtrack real quick because you we went from you did Catholic elementary school
Yeah,
to you left from eighth grade, then you went to
the public school.
public school, right? And then
Mhm.
but you was already drawing, right? So we transitioned from what at what point did the LA Breakers did you start break that? When did that come into play?
That came into play uh in the summer after ninth grade graduation before setting foot on high school campus around the big kids. So
Right.
within that summer right there,
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm finna go get my water
Shabba
bottle real
D,
quick.
Hen G, Evil E,
Keep talking.
uh, all of these type of original hip hop heads, the unique dominoes and you pop and tut. It was a lot of hip hop and rerun off of what's happening. There was a lot of hip hop going on and the culture was thriving and it was warm and shit like that. So we going to Venice Beach and we seeing these different things and we watching Soul Train and all of the different ways that the information of hip hop can get to you. We was getting it in all them different kind of ways.
Okay.
We watching the movie Breaking. We watching the movie King 65. We watching all of these different movies and shit like that. We watching the Warriors and we getting influenced by the culture of the different seasonings of these things. So it was natural for the kids in my age bracket to do this kind of shit if you was into that type of shit.
And that's just what it was. So you would say New York at that time, New York had a huge because we know where rap and hip hop come from. Shout out to the NY, but
Absolutely.
you
Shout out
was
to the NY. Without the NY, we wouldn't have hip hop. We wouldn't have a platform of culture for it to be these multi-millionaires and these trillionaires and these billionaires who have made something out of nothing.
facts. That so
So
you at
shout
that
out to them.
so New York you would say had a huge impact on just like LA in general at that time.
Absolutely. It's in regards to hip hop and graffiti and the culture moving, like let's say if it was a wave on the beach and hip hop was that, it comes
Uh-huh.
from there and it's like a wave on the beach and it moved all the way through the United States and all the way around, wrapped itself around the planet and came back. And it just keep doing that like a reoccurring wave at the beach. Naturally, it does that once it's got started by the fellas.
Right, understood. So at what
So
when go ahead, I'm listening to you. My
no, go ahead.
bad.
So that's my take on it as far as that go. That's pretty much how it came. And at that time, I was in 9th grade. I was graduating from 9th grade, and it was that summer, where every summer the pool open up and, everybody do they swimming pool shit and they Pop Warner shit. And then they age out of that until you go into the leagues where it's junior bantam and JV and varsity and all that type of shit. So it's the age brackets where you transition into, the next level of rites of passage in your age bracket. You graduating with your friends and shit. I was just one of the younger kids that was graduating with the two kids that was 2 years older than me, but I was able to hold my seat.
And hold your seat and hold your own. Now, let me ask you this. You did because breaking it all, you got how LA Breakers, right? That was a clique, a crew. What was because you was the last of that bunch, right? Was you the
As
last to
far as I
join?
know, I haven't, as far as I know, me and E-Love, Eric the Barber, shout out to Eric the Barber Taylor, me and E-Love, and maybe a few other brothers that's in the city that, we're in our respective corners doing our respective, in our places of zen, doing whatever magic it is that we possess and shit as far as, hip hop or graffiti, whatever transition it is. Some
Zen the
graffiti
fuck
artists have
out. You gotta keep the Zen, yeah.
some graffiti artists have transitioned, to be great designers and shit like that for other people and made a name for themselves like that. Some have become tattoo artists. So there's a way that hip hop grooms you for what you rightfully are supposed to be, because it naturally brings out whatever it is that your passion is. You're gonna find out what you love to do.
This is a fact.
When you get grown and you too old to paint on walls and shit like that unlawfully, then you get permission and get paid for it by advertising yourself as an available artist, the person who advertises and puts up billboards and shit like that. And then that company grows and other artists come to where you are because they not only looking for employment, but they also looking for a chance to display and showcase what they can do as well. So this is a platform that creates itself. Unlawful to lawful.
Unlawful to lawful. You can't make unlawful no goddamn career. You get too old. You can't make that a career.
Right. There's no pension in that. There's no retirement plan in that.
That shit
There's no 401k in that shit.
You know what it come with, death or jail. Either one, either the two. You already know. So when did you start rapping?
I started rapping about 19 or 20, my nigga. This is how it happened. So leaving Fudge Town every day, going to the swimming pool at Will Rogers Park, is now called a different name and shit. But at the time we was growing up, it was called Will Rogers Park.
Then it went to Ted Watkins.
It was Ted Watkins Park. Yeah. But at that time, that was the closest park to us that had the biggest pool. And so all of the kids from the surrounding areas to that pool, would naturally migrate and get in this pool and do their shit. If you can flip and all of that shit, you're gonna be on the diving board in the deep end down there doing your shit, showing out, doing your shit. Right. So eventually, if that park has a diving team, the diving coach is gonna spot certain guys in his swimming pool that possess a certain talent, a certain quality.
Okay.
Ergo, Puppet was the director at the swimming pool at Will Rogers, and he saw different guys like me and Tony Rome from the Franklins and Howie G from the Projects, and it was just different guys from different areas that was in the same pool who possessed this featherfoot talent for flipping and shit off the low dive and the tower. We was kind of like the kamikazes. I'm doing triple deck gainers and crackerjack double backs, and we giving each other height on it and give each other spring to get further up there.
Hold on. I know a gainer, nigga, but you an OG. You had to put me on what you say, the crackerjack. What the fuck was that?
A crackerjack double back is a half twist off the high dive. It's a half twist to a double back, but it's not. It's you don't come into the water in a dive. You come into the water feet first and shit, but the complete somersault is what it is. So you're doing a full so you're doing you actually doing you're doing a three. You
do the half twist and double back. Double back. Oh shit. Oh yeah, hell no. I ain't never hit that.
And watch the big homies who used to be on the swimming pool doing that shit, Ben Mangani and Al Curtis, my big homie Al Curtis. Shout out to Ben Mangani and Al Curtis and Cy Henry them, the big homies that used to be on the swimming pool giving.
Wait, hold on. What Al? You talking about Al? You talking about Al?
Al Curtis, Big Al.
Big Al. You talking about you Al, the Al we know.
Al Curtis that cut hair in the backyard. Shout out to Karate Al.
You already. Hey,
big
word to Al. Word to the OG Al, man. Shout out Al.
Roger that. No
Oh,
bullshit. And
Al
all of
ain't
these
no.
things is fact. All of these things that I speak to you is facts, and they can actually be researched. And if I'm lying on any part of it, I'll own up to that. But I know that I'm not, because this is the history and the lineage of where I come from. So
Hey, shout
it would
out
be
to
doing the
Al.
people that come from where I come from,
Shout out to
it'll
Al.
be
Shout
doing them
out
a
to
disservice.
Sent. Shout out to Al. Shout
Yeah,
out to Sent. Shout out
shout
to
out to the
Granny.
Curtis family.
R.P.
Shout out to the
Big
Curtis
Dave.
family.
On my mama, R.P. Big Dave. You already know how it is, man. Go ahead,
R.I.P.
my
Big
bad.
Dave, R.I.P. Big Goss, R.I.P. Big Fino.
Come on,
Yes,
man. You already
indeed.
know what it is, man. Shout
All the
out.
three OGs, all the
Come
three
on, man.
OGs from the hood, all of them that's the lineage right there.
You already know what time it is. So you okay?
Fino
So
gang.
it goes from that. Y'all spent your time. You was at Real Rogers doing your thing, right? And then you was
So
saying, go ahead.
I gotta pass through a couple of hoods before I get to the actual park. The Franklin
Yes, you
Squares
do.
is one of the hoods I gotta pass through, coming from the direction that I
Cause
gotta come from Fudge, I gotta pass by the Franklins,
because it's right there by the park,
because that
and then the
look because
circles on the
that's
other side.
because that's the safest route for a Crip. If I go the other way, I gotta pass by the haciendas and the Bloods and risk getting popped at.
Right, and that ain't the
So
safest route for a Crip at that
right,
time.
it ain't the safest route for. So I gotta go this way. So I'm passing by their house by through their hood.
Right.
Right. So I
Mm-hmm.
meet Freeze and I meet Stone. I meet the guys that's from that part of the hood. You know, I'm gonna
Freeze
meet
from
them because
Franklin,
I'm gonna
right?
pass through their hood. Right? Yeah, Freeze from the Franklins, rest in peace. Stone
R.I.P.
from the Franklins, half dead, all the Franklins. Shout out to the Franklin Square. Watch Franklin Square Crip gang. Them niggas
Mm-hmm.
is, you could say they're a tiny hood, but they pack a punch. And most of the tiny hoods in our city fuck over shit. So don't get it fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Mm.
they able to exist this long and not be rubbed out and shit and non-existent and shit.
So the rapping started when it started like so. You said 19 right now. What was the
Yeah,
first
19.
song? What was the first song you remember you made? Like on wax though.
The first one that got recorded
Yes,
and the
nigga.
rest of the world heard it.
Yeah, the first song you put on wax, it ain't even got to be the world, your homie, whatever you put on wax, and your homies or whoever, you let people hear it like, okay, I'm comfortable with you hearing my rap skills. Listen to this shit. What was the very first song you recorded in the booth, nigga?
A song called Put Him in the Ring.
Put him in the ring. What was that shit about? Boxing, squatting?
Fucking niggas up, smashing niggas when you see them.
Understood. Now at that time,
Fucking niggas up, smashing them when you see them, or getting fucked up and getting smashed when they see you.
when they see you, smash on sight. So
Because it go both ways. It ain't a win on your team. Don't win every time.
I'm glad
My
you
team,
said
my
that.
team, my team don't win every time.
Nobody team win every time.
Feel me?
People
Sometimes we take a loss and the loss hurt. You know, it
every
hurt the tender parts of a nigga feelings. This is why it's hard to tolerate the same atmosphere with some motherfuckers that done think that you done been on odds with and shit. It's not easy to share the same room with a motherfucker that done caused that type of anguish for you and your people.
right. Now how you go from that to started rapping at 19. Now when you
Fucking
did
around with my niggas from the Franklin, fucking around with Freeze and Half Dead and Stone and Six Pack, rest in peace. All my niggas from the Franklin was already saturated in the rhyme part of hip hop.
RIP Six Pack, I didn't know Six Pack was gone already.
Yes, Six Pack died last year in November. We just lost Six Pack
Damn,
right after Thanksgiving, right before Christmas.
RIP him, man. What Six Pack say? Everybody want to kill Six Pack. His Six Pack name was like a hood at one time.
Yeah. See,
I remember that. RIP the Six Pack, man. I don't like to see no black man lose their life, especially over this gang stuff, man. But
no, Six Pack died of a heart attack.
heart attack, good. Okay, no, well, that's not good, but I'm just saying, like, it's just
Yeah,
ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying. Now,
absolutely.
now, when okay, so how in the hell did you get involved with the whole banging on wax or nationwide rip riders, bro? Because I get confused with
You know what?
first of all, what is the difference between the banging on wax and the nationwide rip? Banging on wax came first, but banging on wax was the album, right?
Right.
Nation.
Nationwide Rip Riders was an album too, but the title
Mhm.
Nationwide Rip Riders was a fucking it was the title of a song that was in my book.
Break that down. Explain that. Where did the it was? You had a
Okay, so
book. Go ahead.
okay, so you know everybody got they composition books that they write their rhymes in, whether it's the long yellow tablet and shit that you keep from the pen from the Bing when you go to the Bing and you got a
Yep.
couple of them, or it's the ones you go to the 99-cent store and go grab an 800 pages and shit. They got a timetable chart in the back and all this other shit, the metric system and all that, and it's blank pages you can get you right on in the motherfucker.
Facts.
You write, however you write your shit down, whoever it is that write, everybody got their memoirs, their diary, your rhymes is
Facts.
in your diary, so to speak.
Facts. Okay.
So yeah, it was it's like that. So motherfucker write his rhymes down and in his book, and your rhymes have a name. This song is called this, that song is called that.
Mm-hmm.
Nationwide Rip Riders was a song that was the title to a song about cripping and being and Crips that I knew. You know, a song about niggas I know cripping and how they do their thing and shit like that. It wasn't the title of the album or the title of the group, but it became that because the Banging on Wax was a album that they put together with Crips and Bloods on it, and the Crips and the Bloods that was on there, they meshed the songs together. Where I think sometimes they might have had Crips and Bloods on the same song, and then they may have a Crips song and then a Blood song, and it was kind of like a Crips versus the Bloods kind of thing. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
that, and
Mm-hmm.
so when it came time to do the Banging on Wax 2, I kind of just sat in the shadows to see how things would go on the Banging on Wax 1 and the Banging on Wax 2, so that I can
Mm-hmm.
have a good feel for, is this put neon green on and kill me when you see me after this camera's off type of shit? Let me see what the experience of the next motherfucker that's putting his neck on the chopping block for this music shit. Let me see how life go. Let me see if I can navigate my way through staying alive through this shit if there's any death involved.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Now
Okay.
so how okay, so how did you get, because you didn't do Banging on Wax, but you do Banging on Wax, or it was Nationwide Rip? You did Nationwide Rip Riders for sure. How,
Banging on Wax 2. I was on Banging on Wax 2. Like I say,
two.
I didn't do Banging on Wax 1 because I wasn't sure about how it was gonna go. It was the first one, so I said, let me sit back in the shadows and the curtains and just see how it go. I ain't gonna give
But
my influence, my input or nothing. I just want to see how it's gonna go. And if it go
but
cool and it's all right, when if they do a Banging on Wax 2, then I get on there and I'll show them a little something. I'll show them what I got a little bit.
but you
So when I
did.
got a chance to
Yep.
so when I got to show them what I got a little bit on the Banging on Wax 2 on a couple songs me and Freeze now, when they came back around to do the next Banging on Wax 3, I was like, no, nugget, no, 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 no. This what y'all need to do. Y'all need to split y'all motherfucking shit and have and do a blue tape and a motherfucking red tape. Put your Bloods on the red tape, put your Crips on the blue tape. And whoever sell the most copies out of the blue and the red should be the one that's up for the next motherfucking deal. Cause I see y'all coming with different little shit to do every time after y'all do one. So since I can kind of see in the future a little bit, yeah, y'all probably gonna come back around with a whole nother something. What they do, they come back
Mm,
around with a whole nother something. That's why you had the young soldiers and shit like that, and
yeah, with Big
different shit
Y
like
and
that.
Little Stretching them. Yeah. Okay.
Ergo, my prediction was correct.
So
You
okay,
didn't
so
come to us. You didn't come to us and see if we had anything. You knew we did, but you went that way with it. I really don't know the intricate parts of the decision making and shit because they kept the smart guy out the room when they was doing shit because they know I was gonna question all
they
kind of
want to,
shit.
because they trying to take advantage. When did Nationwide Rip Riders came into play? After Banging on Wax 1 or 2, or when did that come into play?
After Banging on Wax 2. Like I say, they was finna try to do a Banging on Wax 3. They wanted to do a Banging on Wax 3. And I was like, y'all spinning y'all wheels in the mud, man. I see where this shit going, man. You need to make a blue CD and a red CD. Let whatever bloods you can get that's fly as a motherfucker with the rhymes and the mics do they shit and showcase their red rag talents and shit. That whoever got fly rhymes with they blue rags that grew up in those providences and those areas that's governed by the blue bandana, since this is a CD about the culture of gangbanging and shit, you get the flyest niggas from the different corners of the gangbanging culture, for whatever hood they from. Give a fuck where they from. If they fly with that mic, they shit, nigga, they gonna surface. They gonna show themselves. What I
Mm.
say? Motherfucker, when they Ali oxen free, like you playing hide and go seek, niggas came out the woodwork.
Hey,
They rhyme.
what
What?
was Not the low top type because they slip and they slide, but the high tops for gangsters with the stars on the side. Listen, what? Listen to me, man. Your verse on that alone, let me tell you, bro. Hey, you got the classic verse on that. What the hell? What was it like? Look, listen to me. What's up, nigga? What was it like that whole process? Just recording the whole nationwide rip rod. What was your experience like doing that whole thing? Because I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you before you start. It's two niggas that I promise you. And Bronco, I ain't never listen to me. Let me tell you something. It's a few niggas. I listen to rap so much, bro. And I know Crip niggas that can rap, blood niggas that can rap. Listen, you got Bronco, you got Trey D, you got Snoop, you got
Look, wait, stop right there. They don't add me. They don't add me to the list with the rest of the crew.
I'm adding you though, nigga. I'm adding you. Fuck them. I'm adding you, nigga, to my list.
They don't add. Look, they don't add the low to the list of the Crips. I don't know. Maybe I'm the outcast, the one they don't like.
Man, listen, man. Look,
I'm gonna keep my foot on your neck anyway, cuz.
What was your experience like, bro? Just recording, doing the whole not the rep your set, because that's later. We're gonna get into that. But what was it like doing the whole nationwide rip riders, bro? Because it was different. It was a different time. What was your experience like recording and doing that?
That was one of the dopest experiences that I've ever had in my life that helped shape and mold the person that you're talking to right now. Without those experiences right there, I couldn't have evolved into the person that I am right now. I actually believe that everything that has happened, conceived in my mother's womb, all the way up until right now, is absolutely, I'm supposed to be right here, right now, talking to you right now. And whatever the next move that happens when the planet rotates on its axis, that's what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. Whoever's alive is alive. Whoever has passed away because they've transitioned to the next step or whatever.
The
and
next
whenever
round.
It's my turn to dive in the ground, I look at those things like that. So Nationwide Rip Riders was one of the dopest experiences. Without that experience right there, you wouldn't know who I am, and you had nothing to interview me about. I'd just be another nigga from the hood.
Nah, nigga, you could.
Nobody would know. Nobody would. That was like the diving board for me to show the rest of the world that was gonna listen to that kind of music. That is somebody from the area where they wear brown rags at that got that.
Understood.
We bring more to the table than just this brown rag. Is where my whole strength of my whole get down was. We got niggas that fight. We got niggas that play football. We got niggas that play basketball. We got niggas that draw. We got niggas that, you feel me? And they A1 at that shit. We got niggas that shoot too, and they A1 at that shit. But everybody ain't no motherfucking shooter.
Yeah.
Everybody don't sell dope.
That's a fact.
You feel me? Everybody from Fudge Town ain't like that or like that. You can't generalize everybody and categorize us like that. We all have our own significant qualities that make us special and unique in our own way. The same as anybody in any other hood. That hood ain't made up of no damn dummies.
That's a fact.
Them is people over there. That's just the area that they come from. That section of the city. That's the team that's gonna fight back.
Shout out Top, nigga. You already know. Shout out Big Ant.
Everybody ain't gonna fight back. Everybody ain't gonna fight back.
That's true.
Oh, shout out to Top Dog. It's a reflection
of him
sitting right here.
That's my nigga. The same flag. Word to Big Ant, nigga. That's my nigga, man. You already know what time. Top already know what time it is, man. Top right there for 105th Street.
Shout out to
he's a hustling ass nigga right there. You already know Top, man. But look, man. So now,
let me tell you something about Top.
Go ahead.
Top go back. We go all the way back to Now Laters and Johnny Struck a Match. We go all the way back to Now Laters, Johnny Struck in the match, and the match went out type of shit. Me and Top that's my day one nigga from kindergarten, first, second, third grade, all that type of shit. Like every day on the block when it wasn't school, it was me and Top Dog and the rest of the fellas. Like, that's my guy right there. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for him, my nigga.
On me.
Nothing at all that I wouldn't do for him. When we go to Nationwide Rip Rider shit and all that, niggas was needing their weed and they different shit like that. I slide on the block and shit because I'm busy doing the music and shit like that. Nigga Top gonna throw a nigga quarter, half, some shit like that to make sure everybody that's with me cool. Like, shout out to Top Dog, my nigga.
Hey, listen.
Shout out to the Tops.
Listen, man.
It don't matter what the fuck it is. It don't matter what it is that I need. If I need something,
Listen, that nigga Top could sell salt to a slug, nigga. He can sell salt to a snail. No lie. Top be getting his hustle on, man. Damn, can you hear me? What the hell happened? Let me see. Hello, you can you? Oh, there we go. Hold on, let me see if you back in. There we
Sorry
go.
about
Okay,
that.
you
No,
go.
I
You
had
all
a
right?
phone when I was trying to come in. I had to tell him no. I called him back.
So
But
let
yeah,
me when y'all did the nationwide rip riders, right? Because I'm gonna keep it a bean. My two favorite, and people be sleep, is Bronco and was A1. A1 was one of the hard. You and A1 was one of the hardest. Niggas
A
sleep on A1. R.I.P. Right
AWOL rest in peace. KIP. Kelly
now,
Park in peace. My nigga, the
A1
Compton Kelly.
that nigga A1 wasn't no joke, nigga. Now look, bro, when y'all was shooting all them videos and doing all that, it was people, it was all Crips that just came on one accord, or how did that shit work? Because it seemed like in those videos, it was people from everywhere in those videos.
It was a mesh. Like it was more than a handful of my homies. And then, let's say you got me and I'm from Fudge Town. And you got
Mm-hmm.
Freeze from the Franklin. And
Yep.
then you got AWOL, he from Kelly Park. And you
Yep.
got G and Scarface, both of them from Atlantic Drive. So say you got 20, I got me, it's me and 20 of my niggas with me.
Yep.
It's me and 20 of my assholes with.
Mm-hmm.
And they got 20 of their assholes with them.
Mm.
Like
Under,
that.
understood. Now, let me ask you this.
And the assholes that don't rap just happen to know each other from being in asshole situations together.
So it just went like that. That makes sense. So, and half of them probably, all of the assholes go to juvenile together. They go to juvenile hall together, LP together, camp together, YA together, jail together, everything together.
That's all
Regardless of where you're from.
you just broke it down in basic terms. What I just said, the assholes know each other from doing asshole shit.
Now, okay, so we go from not the low top type, but they slip and they slide, but the high tops with gangsters with the stars on the side. Oh, I ain't gonna finish the rest. And I'm from East Side. What he say? What's up to the homies on the 10 to 5? Get back. Listen, we go from that to how many years later did Rep Your Set come?
It was quite a few years, probably 15, 16 years, maybe 20 years later or something like that.
Wait,
Somewhere in
wait. Did that the 90 the riots is really? Do you think the riots is what caused the banging on wax slash nationwide Rip Riders whole ordeal?
No, because you can't take out the fact that there was a Damu Riders and a Young Soldiers album. And shout out to Brazy, rest in peace, and free my nigga Lil Hawk from Crenshaw Mafia while y'all
Free that
bullshitting.
man. Yeah.
That
Free
type of
that man.
shit. You feel
RPB
me?
Brazy.
Right. Shout out to my nigga Pops and my nigga Dog and Big Wad, Young Soldiers and Lil Stretch. And
Yeah, shout
thank
out
y'all.
Big Wine, Sugar Booger too. Them niggas was hard.
My nigga Sugar Booger, them is all my guys. And from the day that we met each other in the studio, and when it's time for us to be there all at one, there was never no friction with any of us. We always made brothers from that day. We admired each other and shit like that. We got one another's phone numbers and we did our little shit. I done been to places where I done been the only Crip at a Pyru function and ain't never heard the word crab or Ricky because
Mm.
they didn't because I'm a loved one. They embrace me the same as if they treat me with the same dignity and respect as if I was a blood. And no, I didn't bust nobody's eyes with the uncomfortableness of having a bunch of fucking blue on and a sea full of red. What I could have, I had my blue little trimmings, but it wasn't no on purpose shit. It's what I had on for that day. Motherfucker invite me to some shit. I ain't gonna go home and change clothes because I wasn't offending nobody. Everybody that's there know me.
By respect. Understood.
They already know what I'm about. They know the homies. I'm really from over there, and I'm good.
Right, exactly. So we go from that. So you would say maybe 20 years later, we got the do you say Rep Your Set is the was the newer Banging on Wax, or what was that? What you compare it to? That was they tried to revamp Banging on Wax with Rep Your Set, or what was it?
I would say, in my opinion, it would be like Banging on Wax Reloaded, something like that.
Okay. Now,
Because it was done on a scale of allowing that one person that got rhymes and whoever it is from his hood to showcase the talent in that part of town, in that hood that he come from. If it was the Nutty Blocks, if it was the West Side, nigga, what it do?
mm-hmm.
West Side Pyro. Nigga, my P, shout out to the P-Funk, nigga. Them niggas took off on that motherfucker while you bullshitting. See,
Right.
hip-hop don't let you be discriminated because you a Crip, you can't like blood music. And because you a blood, you can't like Crip music. That's bullshit right there. If the
Right.
nigga hard in the arena, he could have all red on with red contact in and red hair. If he go, he go, nigga.
He
Fuck
just
you talking
hard.
about.
You can't deny that feeling when you hear that music that's hot. You can't deny it. It just
Fuck
what
no.
it is.
Hell no.
Hell
No,
yeah.
sir. Not on my watch. I'm going to give a nigga his 10 if he got 10 coming. I'm going to call a ball, and a strike. Yo, shit, whack. I'm not going to be nice about it, delicate and gentle about it. Get that bullshit out of here, nigga.
So, okay, so look. We gonna keep it a bean, right? I need your opinion on this then, nigga, real quick. Kato gave me his opinion, and you know, some people didn't like his opinion, but that's his opinion is his opinion.
My favorite songs off the Rep Your Set was the West Side Pyru song.
You already know what I'm asking then.
Look, yeah. My niggas from Harlem, my Dirt gang
shout out
niggas.
My nigga Dank, shout out Kato, shout out them niggas, Free Baby Boat, yeah.
Fuck you,
my nigga Shady Boy, you already know CeeLo, all that.
And the Home Street niggas and the Nutty Block niggas.
All right, okay.
And now my 165 niggas did they shit, nigga. What? And 11-8 Home Street? Come on, Bo Real and them did they shit, cuz.
Now what was when it come to Banging on Wax? What's the hardest song that came from Banging on Wax? Cause my personal opinion, my opinion don't matter. What's the hardest song that came from Banging on Wax?
Pyru Love.
Hey, since you said it, I'm gonna say my opinion. I think I agree with you on that. That was probably one of the biggest. That shit wasn't no joke. Now look, when you did Rep Your Set, right? They didn't, because I know Kato was telling me they didn't have y'all in the same room with enemies and nothing like that, right?
No.
When I watched the DVD, they made it look like y'all was all together in one room and just recording and jumping in studio room to room and like everybody was just together. But how did the Rep Your Set, or what was the difference between the Rep Your Set journey and the Banging on Wax? I mean, in the Nationwide Rip Rider for you, because you did both.
The Rep Your Set was more like being in high school, like being on campus, knowing your enemies at school today too. They just in their class right now while we in our class. If we see each other the hallway, it's gonna be some whole other shit. So y'all better make sure y'all ring their bell. Yeah, they child bell better ring different than our child bell. Cause let me tell you some real shit. Every nigga that was there from them different hoods, they was real niggas from their hood, like me and the homie. Me and the homies was there blamered up. They was there blamered up. Cause we know nigga gonna run into the enemigos in this bitch, nigga. It's gonna be man down in our 5, nigga. They go to talking that bullshit, nigga, while we trying to get our hip hop on.
It's gonna get all bad. Understood.
Come on, my nigga. It's gonna be ugly than a bitch right here. My nigga got real Crips, real bloods from different parts of the city in the same building. That's like being in high school, my nigga. Knowing that it's gonna be some shit here. We might have to add some new niggas to the list while you bullshit.
Understood. Now you was originally gonna do that by yourself, right? Now what happened?
Yeah.
Tell
what happened was I got the way they circulate the information. You know, it wasn't no internet like that. So they would go through the way that they got to me, because I ain't know none of them motherfuckers that was producing the shit, the different niggas from the different hoods and shit. We all know each other from being hood niggas and being in the city. And shit. I know the home streets. I know the nutty blocks. I know the west side and shit like that. I know the Harlems and shit. You know, it's certain my hood and the Harlems been mingling for years and shit like that with these brown rags and these blue rags and shit. Homies is kin to each other and got family members from, you know, certain niggas got dual citizenship.
Righteous.
Ergo, they grew up in one hood the same amount of time they grew up in another one. They got the same amount of homies from both hoods. They can be either or. They just don't straddle the fence.
No dual citizenship. Right.
Yeah, certain niggas, certain bloods got dual citizenship. You know, they from this blood hood and that blood hood. They've been in, you feel me? Same with me. I got dual citizenship. I'm Fudge Town, but I'm Franklin Square too. Because I've been you know, the hood's been like that for years since we was tiny.
That's like my nigga Dank. That sound dead on Dank. Shout out Dank. I love you, nigga. Yeah, that's dead on Dank.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that, my nigga. Just like that. You know, you got certain bloods and shit that's like that too. They got
Mhm.
dual citizenship. Some grew up in then the Anthers, like Bone grew up in the Anthers, but he got dual citizenship because he from the Jays too,
From the
Black Keystone
jungles.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a point with that one right there.
Certain niggas grew up in the niggas and shit and they hunters and shit, but they got ties to the different lanes or the millers, or, you know, and they got dual citizenship, you know. Shout
Yeah.
out to my Bloods and my Crips that respect the culture. We already know what it is, so I love y'all.
Right. Understood. Hey, bro. Now, so now let's talk about because you did. That's what's so crazy to me. You did both of them. So we not
Yeah,
gonna act like you didn't go platinum on both of them.
all
We're
three of
not
them
gonna
motherfuckers.
act. We're not gonna act like all three. We're not gonna act like you're not a platinum artist. That's what we not gonna do. I'm not taking. We ain't gonna act like you went yada. You didn't go platinum. Now,
Roger that. Appreciate
what?
that.
Not a problem, man. What was the problem with the paperwork, man? Because it seemed like some people had some gripes and some issues, and the paperwork wasn't right when it came to financial gain with all of this music shit. When it come to the nationwide rip riders, the banging on wax, the rep your set. Did you have that same experience when it come to the pay and the paperwork and shit?
I did. I did too. The different paperwork and stuff like that that was presented at you gotta first understand this. You're not dealing with you're dealing with guys that are over 21, so of course they're adults. But in
Mm-hmm.
not all not adult and mature enough in all aspects of business when it comes to a business that they have no knowledge of. So what they would do is they understand the elements of the hood and shit. Motherfuckers is that you come from the element of the group of kids that used to ditch class. So you don't know about this and that. And when you get grown, it's gonna be irrelevant to what you got going on. A lot of motherfuckers ain't computer literate because they don't fuck around with the computer. They keep hard cash on them. They the type of motherfucker that won't evolve past the money in the mattress and the money in the shoebox type of shit. You
Nigga
got
won't even
certain
get.
motherfuckers like that.
Nigga won't even get
They're
a bank
dinosaurs.
account. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bank account is in the sock in the shoebox that's in the mattress type of shit. And then you got certain motherfuckers who will evolve with the time so that they can stay current. Well, with that information that you're talking about on that paperwork, that kind of information ain't readily available and circulated in the hood. It is now because you can get it on your phone with Google and Wikipedia and all that. But before that, we
It
talking about a
wasn't there.
time before a time where them where the only information that you have is get you a lawyer. In the
Mm.
ghetto, motherfuckers know that the only lawyer you're gonna get that's gonna holler at you is a motherfucker that's a public pretender, a public defender when you're going through something. But you ain't finna just go waste no time talking to no motherfucker that's about $100, $200 an hour. He finna entertain your conversation. Ghetto people don't get that privilege right there. That amenity don't come to us like that. You gotta have some bread on the wood to talk to a motherfucker and keep the conversation good. So with that being said, the lack of knowledge and information that come with the entertainment business is the same as what Frankie Lyman went through back in the day, or what TLC and them went through in their time. It's not the first time that some motherfuckers that went through that, but it ain't the last either, because whoever they can catch with their nose in the sand, they gonna do them like that. And that'll be your experience. That'll be your ride around the merry-go-round, so you'll know how not to do it again if you fuck with this again. Either it'll discourage you, like I said, that experience punked me. I didn't want to fuck with this shit no more. Just because of that.
Hmm. And
Fuck
you
this shit. Fuck that.
and,
I'm cool. I could do
let-
some other shit. I'm smart enough to do some whole other shit. Have a good life and shit. My kids cool. They won't miss no Christmases, no, whatever holidays is important and shit that we decide we want to take part in and shit like that. They ain't finna miss no graduations or nothing, because I come from the fabric of motherfuckers that's gonna make a way when it ain't no way.
I gotta
And I ain't
listen
and yeah, and I ain't gotta hurt nobody. The nigga got a brain on the top of his shoulder.
now
So I'm gonna
now
figure it out.
now as an OG, right? You the OG. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at you like you know how we tapped in. You gang. It is what it is. Now
Yes, sir.
I got the even though I don't gang bang for the people that don't know it, we tapped in, right?
Right, Roger that.
But
Always and forever.
right, but I'm looking at you like you kind of made me mad just now because
Why?
what you mean why? You gave up when you had fans listening to you, nigga. Do you know? Let me tell you something, bro. I was 19, 18 or 19 when Rep Yo Set came out. I was a kid when motherfucking Nationwide Rip Riders came out. My first favorite rapper in my life was Busta Rhymes. Second was E40.
Mm-hmm.
You know how mad I got when this nigga Busta Rhymes stopped putting out music?
That's the
I
same
was
thing. One of
nigga,
my other partners.
I was pissed off to the point where like, what the fuck is you do? What are you, why you not, bro? I don't care about the fans, bro. We don't know what's going on behind the scene. The only
Right,
thing we hear is you spitting.
right.
So if you not giving us ism and spitting no more, it's like, what is what's up with bro? Like you know what I'm saying? We don't know the outside,
I understand.
and I
I
don't think
understand exactly what you mean. No, no,
yo,
I understand.
yeah,
Look at
cause
my face. I, I understand exactly what you mean, bro. And
yeah, you make a
from the
nigga
deepest
hot.
parts of my look, from the deepest parts of my heart, I sincerely apologize. Allow me to rectify the
Apology
situation.
accepted, OG.
By
Salute.
Rhymes, big homie. You feel me, loved one? It was some things that I had to work out within myself because not only that, but the loss of the homies that's part of my little nationwide Red Rider found I'm losing Big Freeze, one of my best friends and shit, and then other motherfucking shit
R.I.P.
happening. So I kind of just pushed away from the shit to grab a hold onto my own self and make sure I don't lose myself trying to find myself type of shit.
You know what, OG? It took me to become an adult to understand all of that shit. Because I'm sitting, sometimes
So
as fans, OG, we can be selfish. Fans could be selfish,
yeah,
bro.
indeed. You know what? As a fan, you have the right to be that because I surrender myself to you guys. I'm in
Mm.
service. I'm in service of you guys. And if I have neglected my post, then I apologize. But I was
Well,
distracted with some things that was fucking me up from being the best, the
deep, but
best, the best tutor that I can be at the time.
hmm. Do you know why sometimes fans unselfish though? What people like when y'all put music out in the world, bro, people don't understand that, nigga, you don't know what that person was going through when they listened to the shit that you said.
A
You
couple
got
cats, it was a kid that was getting bullied when he was a kid, and he said that the first time when he first heard my music, it was in a car that was passing by his school bus when he was
mm-hmm,
getting punched on. When he was getting punched on the school bus and being made fun of by one of the older kids that was on the bus. He said he
mm-hmm,
went home and he tried to figure out what the name of the song was so he can call the radio station. And when he figured out what the name of the song was and called the radio station, they didn't have it. So he had to go
mm,
on like some other means to be able to get to it. And when he got to it and he listened to it first, and then he finally came across the video, he said when he first listened to it, so he heard my voice and it was something about my voice and shit. And he's trying to figure out which one of them motherfuckers and like, what's his name? Like, what's his name? And when he figured it out, he like, man, I thought you was gonna be like a 7 foot motherfucker that was like 9,000 pounds and shit. You a
mm-mm,
tiny motherfucker like Pac, but your presence is like that. And he said that's how it made me feel because I'm a tiny nigga too, but the big nigga don't fuck with me no more. And I said Allahu
mm.
Akbar because that was something that made the Tookie and you come out and make you resist being punked and being bullied. Then my job is done. I don't want to encourage nobody to take no bullets and shoot them around the 7-Eleven and kill people. That's not my get down. I would tell you stories about what I know about that from my witnessing it and shit like that. But I ain't gonna encourage you to do that shit inside of my music. I only
Right.
come with the understanding of what will make you want to do that because I understand how hot and how mad you got to be in order to resort to that level of meanness.
You know what's so funny, Bronco? I don't think because you didn't grow up in the era with social media, right? So like social
No, I
media,
did.
social media kind of let you know how much love you got over the world. Like back in your time, you had to actually travel to that state,
Yeah,
perform,
yeah,
and let people see. And then people know my lyrics, like type shit. So I
yeah,
don't think
yeah. People that don't even know English, they know my English lyrics to this music right here,
so.
and
What
they
I
in China or they in Vietnam or they in Sri Lanka or they in the Netherlands where they speak Dutch or they in Russia, you know, and they, damn, Bronc, where your music at, man? When the next video coming out? And I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm robbing them of a treat or something that they need, like a part of their motherfucking shit that go in their lunch bucket and shit for at work. And if I don't do my job as far as what I love to do, then I'm cheating the motherfucker that's actually a fan of the shit that I do. So
Because
I didn't come into the realization of that until a total stranger walked up to me and shit, which was what a fan is, and I'm a stranger to you, but you know me through my music and shit,
mm-hmm.
and told me how important it was. He had grew up on my music and shit like that, and my music actually, me and the homies' music and shit, kept him out of a lot of certain situations and shit that he would have otherwise been foolish and made fucked up decisions. But paying attention to shit, I'm like, man, the motherfucker that don't like it, for every motherfucker that like it, it's 10 people that don't. So for the 10 people that don't like it, then it wasn't meant for you. And I didn't mean to offend you at all. I was only trying to reach the people that I'm trying to reach, the crowd of people that I know gonna pay attention to me.
Well, you know what's so funny you said that is because I think that your generation and that era, and just even with the nationwide rip riders banging on wax, rep your set, y'all never got to see how much of an impact that y'all had on the whole LA city, bro.
Yeah, the
Let
one
me,
thing that I always say is this, and that is you did us a disservice by the shitty ass contractual shit. But
yep.
the worst thing that they ever did is that they robbed us of the interaction with our fans. You never gave us no fan
Mm,
mail. You never gave us
mm,
no indication that the world was trying to reach out and say something to me so that I can write back and say, it's cool, I appreciate you. I couldn't write you back because I didn't know you was right there, because it was somebody in between me and you keeping us from having a relationship.
mm. Yeah, because one Bronco, I'm not gonna lie to you, OG. That nationwide Rip Riders came out, and when you said that verse, that came out in what year? Let me tell you,
92, I think.
let me tell you how much of an impact y'all had so you can try to understand. That shit came out in 92, OG. Young Bronc. I was born in 87, 88, 89, 91, 92. You know how old I was? How in the I'm 33 years old right now today. And I know your whole I can recite all your lyrics, OG.
That's a
Do you
motherfucking
know how
compliment.
much impact y'all had though? I can recite your whole listen. Everybody with the coldest verse, everybody that was hard from Rep Yo Set to Nationwide Rip Riders to Banging on Wax, bro. I know who they are. You know how much,
Man,
you know how much. Listen to me.
go.
Let me tell you. F all of that. I'm finna give you who the hardest niggas from all of that. You got B Brazy, you got Bronco, you had Red Rum, you had Big Y, you had A Wall, and Sugar Booger. Sugar Booger came into play a little later though. And then
Suge hard.
we ain't gonna talk about we not gonna talk about how Bloody Mary toe up RIP, toe up the hole. Nobody know that was a woman that was killing on the Paru Love, the first verse.
Nene
I,
X, my dog, rest in peace. She was
what
bad as a motherfucker on
you
the
know,
mic, my
you know how you listen,
oh,
OG, Bronx. You know how you was a student of hip hop?
yeah,
I'm a student of hip hop, nigga.
Roger that. Roger
Regardless
that.
of what you talking about, whether you talking about you from a gang, whether you talking about you this or whether you talking about you that, I'm listening to how well you put your words together.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All my generation that was beside me, we was reciting y'all shit. We was
I'm gonna give
reciting
y'all
y'all
some.
shit in high school, nigga. I
I'm gonna
graduated
give
in
you some new shit to
2005,
recite.
OG.
I'm gonna give
I
you
am
some
not
new shit
lying
to
to you.
recite, brother. I'm gonna
Send
give
it
you some new
through.
shit to recite so you can stick your chest out and be good. Stick your chest out like a rooster early in the morning.
Oh, listen to me, man. Y'all don't get it because y'all never got to see y'all. I'm gonna tell you this much, and I'm gonna leave it at this. Why the hell you think y'all went platinum every time? Nigga, one time platinum is 1 million records sold. That's 1 million people that bought y'all shit, bro.
Yeah.
Nigga,
I
listen
don't
to
know how
the
many.
impact.
You know what?
You
And
got
I don't know.
niggas today
And I
that
don't know
gonna
how
go
many.
platinum.
I ain't even looked at the streams lately and shit. I don't know. It's over 1 million streams and shit on all three of them albums too. I ain't.
Mm,
You know what the funny part about this is? The
mm,
creator blessed a nigga with so many different type of gifts and talents, bro. I got 1,000,000 of them motherfucking albums in my whiskey, bro. They ain't hurt nobody but their own self because they can't get no more from where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get to just frolic in all of the shits.
Mm. Understood. Understood. And
I,
like
I
you,
this was my look. This was my playground already. I already been master on the motherfucking monkey bars in this shit already in this genre of music. I know how to fuck with the swings and the monkey bars and the merry-go-round in here. I'm good. I'm familiar with the playground.
mm, understood. And for me, bro, it's so it make me upset to see how these labels and these record owners and whatever owners how when they every time paperwork and contracts
Wait,
come in
not to
display.
cut you off. Wait,
Go ahead.
not to cut you off. I remember you asked me just a minute ago, like, what was the first song that I recorded? The
Yep.
first song that I recorded was Put Him in the Ring, but the first song that got out in the world that the rest of the world heard before during the Banging on Waxes and all of that shit
Yeah.
was a song that I did with True Blue with Kiki Loke from Harlem. Shout out to my nigga
Shout out to
Kiki
Kiki
Loke from
Loco.
Harlem on
Okay.
the True Blues CD, the NOTS shit. It's a song called I'm on a motherfucking come up with me and him and H Bone, and we took off on that motherfucker. That was the first song that got out in the world where niggas was playing it in their cars and shit like that. And this is how other niggas knew that I had rhymes to even consider me. Because only Freeze and them knew I had rhymes. The rest of the world didn't know I had rhymes until I started hitting Project Blow in Leimert Park and nailing niggas in the cipher where I started meeting Volume 10 and AC Alone and the Mod and Baby S and different MCs from all over and shit, Exhibit and all that. We mingling and shit in the ciphers at the Good Life and shit on Exposition and Crenshaw and shit back in the day and shit. So I done pounded the pavement and paid my dues and showed up and caught the bus way from Watts, from Fudge Town, all the way over here just to get down with you guys, whether it was
Wait.
breakdancing or whether, yeah,
You was in the
yeah,
wait a hold up. Hold on. Let's let's backtrack.
yeah,
You saying Baby S, the one that corrupt be shouting out and shit, right? And you was in the cipher with
my nigga,
Exhibit. Hold on, you was in the cipher. You was doing ciphers with Exhibit and all of that.
man, AC Alone, Volume 10, everybody come from, if you from LA, you gotta go through Project Blow for motherfuckers for your name to ring a bell. You gotta hit Venice Beach. You gotta hit these places where other MCs is at. If you're a graffiti artist, you gotta go to the places where the KCCs and the K-Dubs is at, where the troubles is at, where motherfucker, you gotta go where your people get down. And so the people that get down in the situation and is good at the shit that you are good at, know that they can add you to the list of the greats and that shit right there. Otherwise, nobody knows who you are. You got to
That's
show yourself.
so you that's in the time when there's no social media when you have to get out there
Yeah,
and network and mingle.
Where the radio advertise it at a certain location at a certain time. So niggas got their ear to their fucking radio, listening to where the DJ finna tell you that the meetup is.
Understood. Hey, times are just totally different.
Real underground shit.
Understood. Hey, that times was just totally different back then, right? Now
Absolutely.
you went from you got the art, LA breaking, nationwide rip riders, rep your set, and then now you work in engineering, right?
I do mechanical engineering for the union and shit. I've been working in the union for probably the past 6, 7 years and shit. My younger brother teaches mechanical engineering and shit, portions of plumbing engineering, and we be building enormous structures, shit like the Staples Center, the luxury high rises that are across the street from the Staples Center here in LA and shit, the Circa building, the Ram Stadium that's in Inglewood and shit. We worked on that. So we be working on all type of shit, but it be big ass shit, extensions to colleges and schools and shit like that. So yeah. Yeah, nigga fuck with the
Let me
engineering and the orange vest and the hard hats and the work boots and all of that shit with the heavy equipment, heavy duty cranes and all that type of shit.
let me ask you this, bro. Do you experience because I mean it's no coincidence as to how you ended up with a job like that because it starts from the beginning. All of the education and everything that you got from the beginning, it eventually kicks in at some point in your life, right? That's
Becomes a
just the way
resource.
I see it. It becomes now. Do you ever get because you are where you are now? We not gonna say everybody on banging on waxes. It's probably a bunch of niggas on banging on wax that's still alive right now that got it going, but I don't know. It's some that don't. But do you feel I'm gonna say I don't know even. It's not even. Is it survivor's remorse or do you feel some type of way because you are what you are? You don't need nobody, man. You don't need none of this. You don't need it. Do you feel some type of way being on a different level from everybody that you left behind?
No, because everybody got the same amount of 8 hours in a day that I got. If you do whatever you do in your 8 hours, that's your that you can reap the benefits of that, that day or on Friday or however you set that shit up for yourself. What I do with my 8 hours in a day is my business, and whatever I'm able to get out of that, if it's a tangible dividend, you can't be mad at me for what I'm able to do with what I'm able to get out of what I did, and I can't be mad at you. If you decide to sit there for 8 hours and do nothing but ask for coins at the fucking liquor store so you can get a beer, that's what you're gonna do for 8 hours. I probably give you $2, $3 when I come out the store after I done got my 8 hours in and made my three, four, $500 for the day.
Understood.
I
Now
ain't
let me.
gonna, I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna beat you up about it or nothing. I'll try to give you some words of encouragement. If you ask me about it, I'll give you all the info on what you need to know. But it's like I can't. You can only let a certain amount of niggas cheat off your homework before you get tired of doing that shit.
Mm.
Nigga, you got
Ah
books at
man.
home.
Oh
You got
man.
you got books at home and shit. You do your homework, nigga. Because when it's time to take the test, you can't sit next to me on Friday and take the test and cheat off my test.
Mm. Okay, now I know because I know you
What
probably
if I
gonna
don't come to school Friday?
you fucked.
What if
Hmm.
I don't come to school on Friday? You fucked.
You got a point. Now I know you probably got shit to do before we
At
wrap
some
it up.
point, you gotta.
Mhm.
At some point, you gotta be independent and shit. I can't sell all the weed for us and shit, and then split what I made with you. If I stand outside and sell all the bags and then come in the house and split it with you, that's the same as me going to work every day and you stay at home. And then when I get my check on Friday, I come to the house and split it with you like you got up every morning too.
Like you was
Where they
actually
do that
putting in
at?
the work. Right. Okay, so
Where
all
we do
right.
that? Where they do that at? But where the fuck do they do that at though? Like whether you making minimum wage and whatever that is, if you able to live within your means and your budget or whatever, whether you make $48 an hour or 56 or $67 an hour, $200 an hour, like a paralegal or a lawyer. Sometimes they make $500 an hour. You determine if you create a job for yourself, then you determine how much money you make an hour.
This is understood. Understood. Now let me ask you this, because I know you probably got shit to do today. I don't want to hold you up too much, but before we
This
close,
is this is one look. This is one of the things that I got to do today. So I'm gonna do this till I ain't got to do this no more. Then I'm gonna go to the next thing I got to do.
go to the next one. Okay, so let me ask you this then, bro, because you've been working on new shit, right? What's
Yeah,
going
I've been
on?
working on new shit.
You had the I seen the video on your page with June, and y'all had I seen shout out to Phil too, because I seen Phil in the video. I
Yeah,
seen
shout out to Flood of Money Records. So
yeah,
and the
and
homies in the hood, the homies, my younger generation,
shout out
Peanut,
Ken
man.
Rock too.
Shout out to Ken Rock, shout out to
Yeah,
Top Dog, shout out to Peanut, shout
you
out
already
to
know.
Dolo,
Free
the
loafers and
CEO,
all them.
shout out to
Free
Jay
boats.
Cinco, shout out to
Yeah. Jay
Quandon, shout out
Cinco,
to Chopper
Quandon.
Kelly, shout out to
Yeah.
all my mafias, shout out to the Rider Mafia line. These is all my youngins and shit that grew up under the
Free
banners
bow,
of
free
the hood.
loafers and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
RP Slim,
free my
everything.
nigga
Shout out
Lopez,
Big
free my nigga
Chop.
Boasty,
Yeah.
all that, man.
Shout out my nigga
Free,
Hippie. I
free the
can't forget
mafia.
my nigga Hip. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah, free the mafia. So, I'm from FTM and FTM naturally stands for Fudge
Mm-hmm.
Town Mafia, but
Mm-hmm.
I play with words and I've been playing with words since I was a kid. So when you put for the money in there and it don't say Fudge Town Mafia no more, that's for the money records. When you put feed these monsters in it, it's a clothing line. It becomes a t-shirt situation. When you put
Mm-hmm.
forever touch a million and shit like that in it, it's me playing with words and to give other people, the audience, an idea of what you're supposed to do when you're playing with your words to transition that shit to the next level of whatever it's gonna be. It don't have to stay a gang. It can go to a corporation status where the homies become employees and start
That's a
and
big
in
fact.
future stockholders and shit like that. But it gotta start somewhere. You have a model, you have other corporations and entities that already have a structure like that. Well, look at your hood like that. Everybody possesses a specific quality. Some people are salesmen and great salesmen, and they have customer service qualities and shit like that. Some motherfuckers is thinkers and they problem solvers and shit like that. And other motherfuckers are the doers and shit that actually carry out certain things. You gotta put everybody and help everybody get to the place that they're comfortable doing what they do, so that it don't seem like work to them.
Understood. I got you. Understood. Hey, you know what's so funny? Because the only thing I didn't see you do, like from your hood, what was you on? You didn't do that whole gang wars thing, did you?
No, but they did some little gangland, little interview type shit and all that. The gang war shit was just some shit that I just didn't gravitate to. I wasn't disenchanted with it, but I didn't feel like it would be authentic and shit like that in regards to just, you know how some interviewers and shit, they'll ask you questions and shit like that and try to, it'll be like a witch hunt and shit like that. They'll ask you
Mm,
compromising questions that you got to respectfully decline and almost get an attitude with them. And if you in the same, and you in their company and shit, it'll make you want to slap the shit out of them. Because, my nigga, do you work for the Fed secretly or something? Because you asking me, internal hood affairs and shit that I can't comment on. Why would you ask me some shit?
you asking
I,
me
I
DJ
I
Black
appreciate you being
questions.
the type of motherfucker that interview a person and keep all of the things clean on the wood, bro. Shout out to you and your journalists and your things that you're trying to do. Much
I,
future success to you.
I
Like for real.
appreciate you, Bronco. You look, bro. I'm really from the land, Bronco. You know, I listen. I'm around real niggas. Like I'm around real street niggas. I don't know how to ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? Around niggas that didn't fought cases, come home from the pen, beat case, all type. I don't, so I would never disrespect you and ask DJ Vlad or Adam 22 type. We not doing none of
Yeah,
that.
real shit.
We not
Real
doing none
shit.
of that, bro. That's not my ordeal, man. But I got a
Right,
question
right.
for you. Cause
Shoot.
I gotta go edit up some more videos too. But before we close it out, right? I need you to tell me, and this real critical right here, because you got a lot of knowledge, and we gonna, I'm gonna chop it up once this. We gonna talk once this is over with. We don't
Right.
even if we don't fuck about no goddamn interview. We gonna chop game, cause I'm gonna pick your brain as an OG if you don't mind.
I'm coming. You know me. I'll come pull up and sit down on the couch
Listen,
and lay it out for you. It
it's
ain't no
not.
problem.
Oh, listen, look, I'm gonna pick your brain, right? So, what is it that you could tell the young OG, because some of these youngsters, bro, they look at some of the y'all OGs, they look at some of the banging on wax, they look at some of the rep your set, and they feel like it's been glorified, right? And you a person that's
Right.
experienced all of this shit. You experienced losing homeboys, losing this, homies going to jail, and all of this. What do you
Hmm.
tell these young dudes that just want to join a gang and just want to just go shoot up? What do you tell them? Like, what advice could you leave for them?
The first thing that I would say in any situation of any degree, it's not what you do, it's
Mm-hmm.
how you do it.
Okay.
And I mean be the slickest nigga to get away with a drive by. That's not what I mean at all. It's
Mm-hmm.
how you bang. It's you have you there's it's you have to It's not so much as the olive branch, but it's the kind of class that you can't get in school, man. It's etiquette, it's decorum and shit like that. You ain't got to be the flyest Crip or the flyest blood or the hardest one or the one with the most squabbles or the dominant one in the crowd or the one that show out and act up all the time. Just be who you is from wherever it is that you at and be comfortable being that person. A banging is a state of mind, a state of when I gotta fuck you up because all other resources have been exhausted and I don't have no other choice but to you.
Mm. Hmm.
Don't necessarily mean that I'm from a gang. A motherfucker that ain't never banged in his life can go into bang mode and get in a rage and start tearing some shit up because
And
he's
tear some
pissed off.
shit
He's to
up.
the highest point of the festivity.
Mm.
That's banging. That's when motherfuckers are shooting up shit. Come through, slide through there, knock a nigga down at the hamburger stand, and it's somebody little brother. And the nigga who little brother it is got 3 or 4 homies who love his ass to death like brothers. Every last one of them niggas gonna feel his energy. Every last one of them motherfuckers gonna try to figure out how to best kindle that fire and rub that motherfucker the right way. And not in no punk ass kind of way, but damn, you my nigga, and I feel your pain, my nigga.
Mm.
Everybody don't always retaliate. Some niggas get killed and nobody slide for them.
That's true. Hmm.
That bring a different kind of reality to this shit. When you get
Hmm.
killed in the name of your hood and nobody slide because you was out doing some fuckery. You got yourself killed, got your head knocked off on your own because you was hard-headed and didn't listen.
Hmm.
Niggas ain't supposed to risk his freedom and his ass and all that, his livelihood and his position in life and shit because you got your motherfucking ass killed.
Hmm.
Stop doing dumb shit. That's my advice. Dumb shit is punk shit. And when you accustomed to doing punk shit, it's regular to you. It ain't punk shit no more.
It's just normal.
It's normal fuckery,
Hmm.
shenanigans.
Hmm. Understood. So at the end of the day,
You gotta think about this, bro. There's some motherfuckers that ain't never even considered the playing field. The playing field ain't even. You got motherfuckers that was in the womb when their mothers was still smoking dope. They didn't stay in their mother's stomach. The motherfuckers came out the womb and they had a first year that they was alive, and now they 30 something. And they was born with a chemical imbalance. And there's a bunch of them. These are the kids that our kids have to share the classroom with. The motherfuckers with Tourette syndrome, with short attention span, attention deficit disorders and shit like that. Okay, and they have to find a tolerance, a level of where they can actually exist in the same room with these motherfuckers and not be in fear of their life or their safety, because them type of kids trip out because they imbalanced already, chemically, naturally. Their DNA is off balance and shit. They minus certain chromosomes and shit like that. So when you add fuel to the fire, it's a toxic elixir and it fucks up your judgment. You have impaired judgment off the dribble because you already a cocktail waiting to happen. So when you start smoking blunts, and you too powder, and you take motherfucking lean and the motherfucking pills and all that bullshit that you be having, that's like put all that shit in one motherfucking 2-liter bottle and shake it up with no Mentos in it and see what that shit look like. That's what's going on in your ass when you decide to make these fucked up ass decisions that fuck up everybody's reality.
hmm. Hmm.
When
Shit,
you encouraging niggas' daughters and shit to do threesomes and shit like that, and they go over the edge with the shit fuck. But you
damn, what happened? Your shit ran. Damn, can you hear me, bro? Okay, there you go. You back. There we go.
Yeah. It's shit like that motherfuckers be looking the other way on and shit. You don't the music nowadays be encouraging the kids that it's cool to be a junkie. It ain't cool to be no motherfucking junkie. Holding them styrofoam cups and shit. And whether we can see what's in it or not, the implication, what it implies that's in the cup is what's fucked up. Cause that's what's fucking you up.
Hmm.
You take it of your own free will. You choose to do that. You can respectfully decline. The same way you don't do the other. But to do that, in your opinion, is cool. Since when it been cool to be a junkie?
Mm.
It ain't
Dude.
never cool to be a junkie. Not in nobody's generation. Snitching a junkie is the most glorified motherfucker in the music and shit today. You tell on somebody, you first 48 a motherfucker, yeah. And you on dope, you can use being on dope as an excuse why you first 48 on a motherfucker. Bullshit. Fuck how many niggas you killed, how many real shits you done did and all that. Once you snitch, all that real nigga credibility,
It's
them
out the
credentials is
window.
out the fucking. You are no longer a real nigga once you do fuckery.
Well, you know what, Bronk? The times that we living in today, the shooter is the snitch at the same time. So you got killers that's telling and they going back to their hood, and the regular
Let me tell you
motherfuckers
why.
is scared of them because they still shoot you.
No,
They
no,
rat.
it ain't even that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Uh-huh.
everybody has a voice, cuz the difference
Okay.
in everybody and regular motherfuckers is that in the ghetto, money is your fucking volume. How
Okay.
much money you got determines how loud your voice is, and you can be the dumbest nigga in the room. The smartest nigga in the room can be broke, but ain't nobody gonna listen to him because he ain't got no damn
Cause
money.
they ain't got no
But he the
money.
he the fucking but he the Einstein in the fucking room though.
Mm. Hmm.
So cause he don't got no money, what he's saying don't make no sense. All right, let me know how that shit work out for you then. Because when you run out of money, you're gonna need some more. Nigga ain't
you
gonna always add to his smarts. He ain't gonna run out of smarts.
but see that's the problem, bro. Like what like okay, people when you in the gang or when you in the streets or when you in this and that, people think it's not cool to be smart. Niggas will laugh at a nigga just for being just for being a nerd, just for being a nerd. I don't understand what's so wrong about being smart from the hood.
Well, I just happen to be one of them nerds that can fight and I shoot
So
and
you done
all
had
that
to
other
go
shit.
through that. Yeah. Yeah. Understood, man. You, hey,
Being
understood.
smart, if being a smart nigga is considered a nerd, then all right, I'm a
It
nerd, but
is
I'm
what it
one of
is,
the
but I'll
nerds.
beat your ass.
Yeah. Or
Try
you
me.
got action at a fair one. If you got fights, then you got action. Come on with it.
But see,
It's gonna
Bronco,
be what it's gonna be. What it's gonna be. So come on with it.
but it go back to what you were saying earlier, what you just said earlier. You are a person that you comfortable with yourself and you could be yourself. But also some people that be themselves, you find, I'm gonna just say this much. Whenever you be yourself, I don't give a damn who around you. Gangsters, squares, gorillas, killers, hyenas, apes, lions, tigers, alligators. They gonna respect you for who you are, for you.
That's the that's
You could be the weirdest nigga
that's
on.
facts.
That's listen. Whenever, especially street niggas, that's what I learned. Street niggas taught me, bro. One, they confirmed it, nigga. You be yourself. Street niggas do not gang members. They don't respect niggas that's
Yeah.
not being themselves. Real niggas that's out here active, they can see straight through you. Like, no, he ain't built like that, nigga. Why you acting like that? And they don't respect it. So what you said was,
Yeah, real
I
shit.
think in the hood, that's the most important. Nigga, be yourself. Nigga, if you a square, be a square.
Yeah. Gotta be yourself.
Be yourself. You, that's the only way. That's the only,
Yeah.
can't nobody be you like you.
Got, and then look, you ain't got no business taking no niggas that ain't no shooters to do no shooting. You don't have no business
Anyway,
doing that. The guy that's not a shooter that get took on a shoot,
kick
he's
that
the
nigga.
one that's probably gonna tell because he's not built for shooting.
Why would you bring him
So you
anyway?
fucked up when you took him with you. Yeah,
You
you
wouldn't.
fucked up. You fucked up when you took him with you. You know how to take him.
You should have said, Johnny, get the
The
fuck out
fuck?
the car. What is you doing? Get this. Get your ass out the car. Go
It's
in the
like
house.
look,
You ain't going.
it's like being a bank robber and shit. Bank robbery
Mm-hmm.
sound fun as a motherfucking all. Like I would love to go on a bank robbery and shit and
Yeah.
get away with it. But I'm not built for the not get away with it part and all that and the whole little shit. So I ain't no bank robber. But the bank robbers that I know, they ain't finna let me go just cause I'm Bronx. Bronx, stay your motherfucking ass here. Cause you don't know nothing about no motherfucking bank robbery. Get
You
the
don't
fuck out
know
of here.
nothing about this. Right. Exactly.
My point exactly, my nigga.
Now let me ask you this, man, so I can close out, man. You know, I gotta go edit this shit now. What, tell the people what you got coming up and where they can find you at, like your social media and what you got going on, like right now, as far as with the music or anything. You could have art, anything you want the people to go out and support and buy. What is it? Let the people know.
Okay, so first of all, my homies in my hood, the different branches in the hood, Fudge Town, you got For the Money Records. I
Yep.
got Feed These Monsters as a clothing line. Got
Mm-hmm.
Forever Touch a Million as a clothing line. And we got Freedom Mafia, Funky Tribe of Misfits. It's a bunch of different things coming. So you guys can go into my Instagram page is the Broncologist, Bronc the Great. You can go on there and go through the pictures and shit and see the different shit, like what you like and shit like that. Feel free to tap in the messages and shit and order some shit if you like and all of that shit. I make all that shit right here at the house, hand done and all of that shit, crafted authentic Broncologist shit, 1975 shit and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the music that I did, the one song, two songs that I did just right now recently that's coming out is one song called Same Team, and it's with June Dog from Denver Lanes featuring me, Bronco, and it's on Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, and all that. We just patching together the video and everything, getting a little bit more footage so we can put that out there too. So you can go find that and grab that and shit. Me and June Dog take off on that, and it's Red and Blue Make Green. We on the same team. And then a song that I did with one of my Japanese Laos partners and stuff that live in Eastside Long Beach named El Bun featuring Bobby Jr. And it's called Hustle Champ. And it's on iTunes, Spotify, and Pandora and the other platforms. And the video should be on YouTube too. Y'all go check that out. That'll be much appreciated. Because I got all my coins and my I's dotted and my T's crossed. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever money's come now
It's
is gonna
coming
come
to
to
you.
me.
It's supposed to come to you. It's coming.
It'll come to me now.
Okay, got it. So y'all, and then I just gotta add one thing, bro. If y'all, anybody that need artwork, you need cover art, you need album art, you need logos, you need anything, go holla at Bronco. Bronco. Listen to me. I'm not lying. I'm not saying no cap just to be saying it. When I say This nigga artwork is off the chain. This nigga artwork is off the chain. You need designs for merch. You need anything. Go holler at Bronco. Bronco gonna get you right, and that's just what it
I got you
is.
covered. I
And I
got you
want
covered.
I want to say I thank you and I appreciate you for coming on my platform, OG, because you didn't have
Pleasure,
to take the time
pleasure,
to
pleasure was all
come
mine.
on.
I look forward to being a guest soon.
Come on, bro. You're man. We listen, man. We finna get it in. We gon' man. We gonna link. We tapped in already, OG. And I just want to
So be
say,
looking for same team. Be looking for Hustle Champ. Them
yep,
tools are out right now on all the platforms. And then I got an EP that's coming and shit with a special tribute to Nipsey Hussle on there.
yep.
And y'all in for a treat, man. It's a song on there called Sensational. It's
Mm-hmm.
a song on there called Battered and Bruised. Yeah, you're gonna get a bar of. I feature Minister Farrakhan on one of them. Tavis
Oh
Smiley
shit.
on another one. You know, the broncologist is a different kind of beast now. So
Oh, you got tap. Wait. You got because you is Muslim. You got fair. You say you got
Minister
you got the
Farrakhan,
minister and you got Tavis Smiley. Tavis Smiley, the OG. I ain't seen him in
I,
years.
I got a few. I got a few treats for the audience, for the fan base. Like it's some. Only this nigga can pull that type of shit off.
Understood. So look,
I know some Crips that's in their 70s that's still dressing Pendletons and riding low riders and shit. A lot of
look.
niggas don't know no Crips like that.
When you look, Bron, when you drop the new shit, let me know. Anything you got, OG, I'm gonna go repost it on my page. You gotta make sure this shit ain't on private. I'm gonna repost it on my page. I'm gonna reshare it, and I'm gonna promote it as much as I can and do whatever I can on my end. But I just want to say before I wrap it up, I thank you and I appreciate you, OG. And
Much
and
love.
same here. And we gonna link up. We gonna chop it up after this whole we gonna chop it up. But I'm gonna wrap it up and then I'm gonna edit this video and I'm gonna try to put this shit out shit by nigga, the next couple days. You feel me? The first clip,
Roger that, my nigga.
I put them out in parts. So that first clip, I'm gonna try to put that out in a couple days. And I just want to say thank you and I appreciate you, OG.
Anytime, my nigga. I appreciate you as well. It's a reflection of you right here. It's all love.
You already know, man. I'm finna end this, but I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna let the video do what it's gonna do, save it and shit, and I'm gonna hit you later on, OG.
All right, tap in, my nigga.
Thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Yep, anytime, bro. You welcome.
Easy call. Be
My
careful out
pleasure.
here.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, sir. You do the same.